Lally-ho,
My
friends.
world's on fire.
Welcome back to Kupo Quest Eorzea. I will definitely give you a recap to bring you back up to speed of where we were. Couple months have passed since the events of Scenario 2. The group had split up for a little bit, and then they all kind of did their own thing for a little while, and were meant to come back together in about 3 months' time for this big meeting in Gridania that Raubon had invited you to. Due to some delays and things that did get pushed out a little bit closer to 6 months, so you guys had a little bit of time to kill. And kill some time, a lot of you did. Also kill some people, some of you did as well. Vaughn...
That's crazy.
Vaughn didn't, I guess, directly kill people, but did make the choice during his final dungeon run as a warrior to leave the ninja behind to his fate, which was particularly kind of the ninja's fault. But Vaughn had been pushing himself to burn out. He really wasn't feeling it anymore and went down this path of discovery and is now a paladin. Zaxi has been sleeping her way across Eorzea, basically. We joined her in the middle of one of her dates to the Gold Saucer, where she basically played some games and had some fun and had some more fun.
Just a delight the whole way through.
It was.
No bummers.
Zaxi has just been living her best life. And we did have a scene with Viola as she interviewed the Imperial soldier that you had taken captive. He did reveal his name to be Bart, and did also show her that he had a very particular, I don't think she knew what it was, but like a little diamond in his forehead. And revealed his name to be Bart. She did, through an amazing crit, convince him to basically that it was in his best interest to turn on the Empire and help feed the Eorzean Alliance some information about what was going on behind the scenes.
I very, in the most polite way possible and awkward and, like, sweet little British girl voice possible, said, you know, you're worthless to the Empire, so if you do manage to get out of here, like, and you make it back to them, they're just gonna fucking kill you, so, like, what do you have to lose, dude?
And then the natural 20 came out, and it was like, well, okay. So you will have some probably additional information based on that. We ended last session as everyone was coming back together after a couple months, basically as they all came into Gridania, and they came to the established meeting place here, the Carline Canopy, where they did see your character, Ken, and were approaching for a small reunion. But before we do that, I do want to back up and just ask you, Ken, what have you been up to in the last 4 to 6 months?
Ken immediately went to Raubon and said, I want to help you. Because I don't know if you guys remember this. Raubon is Ken is half
Alamegan?
Shoot, I forgot. Thank you. He's half Alamegan.
I did remember.
So he has a lot of so he has a. Speaking of, I'm already fucking up. Look, why is his backstory not open? Like, what am I? Who am I?
It's been a long time. It's okay.
No, but basically, because a bit of backstory on him, if you don't remember, he has a feral hatred of the people in power in Ul'dah because he has had to see firsthand how the Alamegan people, who were outsiders and essentially live in a tent city on the outside, as I don't think immigrants is the right word for them because they came out of a need rather than just wanting to live there.
Refugees.
But thank you, refugees. And basically, he, because of his healing ability, he had to see firsthand like the conditions they were in. So he has a not nice feelings about the syndicate as a whole and the people in power. So he wanted to help Raubon with that, but Raubon, being someone who was like him when he was young, I feel like would immediately be like, why don't you go help the soothsayer actually? Because I don't think diplomacy is for you. And he's right. So basically, Funnily enough, Ken has never actually met the Soothsayer, even if he does have a relationship with the Econs, but the Soothsayer knows of him for backstory reasons. So essentially, he was introduced to her, and he has been doing whatever she has been asking him to do for the last few months.
Okay. Perfect. I'd say that what you've been asked to do primarily over the last few months is helping out with essentially the war effort. I think there's been a lot of organizational things that have to happen in Gridania, especially with the Twin Adders. There's a lot of injuries coming back, and I think that they're trusting you with a lot of the medic kind of duty on the home front. Now, your reputation and the reputation of your party has preceded you, and you guys at this point have become rather well known. You've been involved in a lot of the major political movements that have been going on in recent years. You've also been at the forefront of a lot of the expeditions that the Warrior of Light himself has been on. So, because of that, that's why you've all been invited to this meeting here in Gridania between the leaders of the city-states and some others, which is why you would be here. But for now, we join the group back together for the first time in a while. Those of you, well, let's start with Ken. Is there any difference that they would notice about you? Are you still like, what has these months done to you?
I think they notice that he stands a bit taller as someone who has confidence, maybe not in himself as much as like someone who's cocky, but in his abilities. I also think he actually does have some experience, not on the front line, I say, but I think he has got involved in combat maybe once or twice. Like maybe there's a story of the people being like, oh, we thought we were down and out until we saw a white light come to help us, and that was Ken essentially running to the aid of others. It was 100% without the permission of others, and he was reprimanded, and he took that because he doesn't care. But yeah, that's pretty much it. He stands tall, and he also seems comfortable in his position as he is currently.
Go ahead and give me a mind check really quick.
Yeah, sure. 1 second. Hold on.
First
I have
roll.
my glasses on.
You've been gone for a while. Let's see. You got to roll high.
Oh, I forgot I had this shit organized before. Anyways, mind. Okay.
So 18.
We're already doing better than normal.
With that, because of the couple of excursions, you already had quite a name established as part of the Aurochs and your previous deeds. But you've also started to become a little bit of a local celebrity here in Gridania. People start to say hi to you on the street. People you don't know seem to know you. And the work that you've been doing here, especially so close with the Soothsayer, have definitely made you a figure of interest here in Gridania.
I will say, to add to that, he was already a figure of interest because he became a white mage. So I feel like it's gotten to the point where it's just like, instead of a couple people knowing him, it's a couple more.
Right. Your whole party at this point is, recognition-wise, getting on the level, not quite, but getting towards the level of the Warrior of Light. Here in Gridania, though, Ken is a household name.
I'll work.
It's like Ken and the Aurochs here in town. So, with that, this is the first time you've all been together in quite some time. You will all immediately notice the change in Vaughn. His entire wardrobe is different. He is no longer wielding the great axe that he once did. Instead, he has this large shield upon his back and this longsword, right?
You bitch got that old styles money.
Please.
Ken has saved you a table, and you are all, for the first time, together.
Yeah, before they even get to the table, I think uncharacteristically than a couple months ago, I think you all see Ken immediately run up and give you all a hug.
Oh, yay. Zaxi loves that.
You know,
Zaxi's gonna do like the anime girl thing where she like talks really fast and is like, really happy about some things and then like crying about other things. Like, you didn't tell me. And then she's like, oh my god, I miss you so much.
You-
Like, I'm so happy to see you.
You
Like,
squeaked out of
Your mic ate
range.
that. Your
Oh
mic
my God.
consumed you.
that's exactly what happened. No, she does the anime girl thing where she's like happy and sad and yelling and
I'm
doing a
suddenly
lot.
remembering this character.
He's a lot less dead inside than fucking Izzy was, I think, but
Ken?
that can be changed. That can be arranged.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Was your goal to kill him inside? Let's not.
Me personally, no, but
Okay.
I'm not discounting the possibility that it happens.
Well,
I know
I will
Ace.
just say Ace has not given me near as much to work with for killing this character inside as he did with Izzy. I had a lot to work with.
We made
that
mistake once.
I'm gonna be honest. I made this character essentially the opposite of Izzy, whereas he cares about his duty so much he will stay alive inside out of spite.
I love that.
I give you what I think is like pretty straightforward and bare bones, and then you find the cracks.
I love doing that. Okay.
He does bend down to hug Vaughn. Vaughn, you would actually notice he seems like he has more physical prowess to him than before.
Chin works out now.
I had a little bit in Vaughn's backstory where like he was struggling with his kind of sense of self-worth. He did actually come to the Conjurers Guild for like maybe 3-4 days and spent time with you learning to be a conjurer, because he was like, maybe I'm not supposed to be a tank, maybe I'm supposed to be a healer. You were the one that told him 4 days in. You were like, bro, this is not for you. Go find something else. He's like, okay, that's fair.
I like the idea of Vold seeing Kin getting upset for the first time. It is just that meme of what's that? I think it's Roger from American Dad just smoking a cigarette with a shaky hand.
But yeah, so like Vold has definitely spent like at least 4 days with Kin. With Ken, just like, as you said, just like trying to learn different things, like while he was having an identity crisis with his warrior stuff. But after he left, he did take on a lot of what he learned in the 4 days, and then was found by the Paladins, and he is now, instead of red and black, it is blue and white. But he does not wear his helmet, so this is the first time that y'all are seeing that he has a
face.
I was about to be so gay for a second. Out of instinct, I was about to be like a cunty little Bob. No. But no, he has like a little bit of like
here. It's a safe
long-ish. Is it a safe space for you?
I don't know.
TOS.
No, but he has like hair that comes down probably only just about to his shoulders, and it is pitch black.
Oh, cute.
First time anyone's ever seen him without a helmet.
Yeah, I think
he doesn't wear his helmet.
Yeah, Ken immediately bends down to give you a hug, and then essentially, I feel like he's a bit more adamant than he was before. So it's essentially him like forcing you all to the table so you can sit down and eat.
Oh, okay.
Okay. There are drinks that have been already set up, just water and a large pitcher that's there. And Ken gesturing like quite insistently at the table.
Hang on, give me a second, guys. Vaughn's gonna get up, go over to the bar, come back. He found a booster chair.
That joke never gets old.
It's great.
Ken throws this little. They have, Lalafell are, they have them in here all the time. So yeah, they have booster chairs specifically for you.
Yeah,
which kind of brings you up to the height of the other people, because typically this place is designed more with are they Eorzea in this game, or is that 11? Anyway, the elves.
No, it's Eorzea.
Okay.
Yes, Eorzea.
So with the Eorzea in mind, so yeah, they have to accommodate the shorter folk like yourself. So, any conversation you all would like to have, having not been in the same room in a while?
Oh yeah, immediately Ken is just so. Tell me about everything. Vaughn, I already know what you've been up to. What about everyone else?
I mean,
I'm-
I've had a great time.
You and Tiresias apparently are a thing now, I've heard.
Who
We've
the
hung out a couple times.
Tiresias is the fucking prophet from
Yeah,
Oedipus,
I know what
dude.
I said.
Okay. Okay, is
Tiberius.
this our okay,
no,
are we
mine's
doing this
funnier.
bit too? Are we doing this bit too? Okay.
Yeah, well, we've already changed the name. We've already changed the name of like Peppercorn. So yeah.
Partially
Sold it.
unsound upper extremity.
We're so bad with names in this game.
Well,
Although in our
yes.
defense, the 14 names, some of them are very difficult. Okay, that's not our fault.
You know how long it took me to recognize Moonbreeder, and I'm still saying it wrong. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Hey, y'all, if you can handle Euphrasia, you can handle Tiberius.
Tiberius.
Nah.
Yeah, we can handle that one.
Viola, I remember you had something with after the last mission a few months ago. Do you remember much about that?
I feel like you're setting me up somehow. Is this a bit? I mean, a lot of things happened.
No, well, you had to talk to that guy that we.
Oh, that's what you're referring to. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I interrogated our prisoner.
Yeah.
It went strangely well. For whatever reason, Robon just let me in the room by myself. Which kind of worked. I feel like he probably would have just been petty and probably said something that would not have looked good for me. All things considered. But I didn't have to worry about that, and instead I actually managed to convince him to cooperate. It was pretty great.
Oh. Well, that's good then.
Yeah,
So
his
you don't
name
have
is
to worry
Bart.
about that.
His name is Bart. He has a gem in the middle of his head, which I have been meaning to look into.
Oh.
But I didn't want to ask him that because I was like, I kind of was already half exiting that situation and I didn't want to re-enter that. And that would have been weird.
You
And
said, I'm sorry, you said he had a gem in his head?
yeah, right here in the middle of his forehead.
Yeah, Vol's been around long enough. He should know
Yeah.
what that is.
Oh, so he's Garlean.
Yeah. Oh, is that like a thing?
For the original Garlean people, yes.
I love.
Yeah, Vaughn, you look at Ken. Ken is Alamegan. He has a lot to say about the Garleans, but he chooses to not say something.
Did he tell you anything about you?
What? Oh, about me, myself? Yeah. Apparently he had a code name, which was pretty cool.
I'm just gonna look over at Zaxi, waiting for Zaxi to be like, "Can I have a code name?"
Yeah. Literally, she's thinking that she's like, my code name be.
Apparently I got called Meteor a whole bunch, and he was called Strife, which is...
kind of cringe.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, but I didn't want to say it to his face.
I mean, Meteor's cool, but Strife, really? Zaxi on the side, like, testing all these different names.
I wonder if they choose them or if someone gives it to them. Like, do they have a code naming department? I should have asked that.
I mean, I would assume that the higher ups would probably give it to them. Anyway, sorry. What you were saying earlier. It's fair that Ken probably wasn't going to say much, but the gem in the middle of the forehead represents them being Garlean born, but they are like full-blooded Garlean. Someone like yourself, for example, who I don't know if you have one, were born either outside or half and half. You won't.
I don't know. Do I have one? I've probably got like bangs. I'll just like move my bangs.
No, you do not have one.
Okay.
Go ahead though and give me an intelligence check, just really quick there, Viola.
Heard.
Ooh.
Ginger.
20. Okay. No, you do not have one. Thinking back to your conversation with him, though, he said a lot of things that are starting to kind of fall into place for you. He seemed I mean, he kept referring to those outside of Garlean as lessers. Them. Very, very racist. Very putting down of anyone that wasn't Garlean. Knowing now what that represents starts to make a little bit more sense to you. And with a 20, you start to have some memories. They're faint, they're not clear, but just of your past, of times when even you were slightly discriminated against for not being full Garlean, or just teased in many cases. And you can't even remember faces or names, just that kind of feeling. And one thing that just kind of sticks out in your mind is the thought of you remembering, wow, these guys are dicks, essentially. And that
That's what Vi remembers.
a lot of what he says now kind of makes sense in context. It doesn't make it any less, reprehensible, but you see why he was saying those things now. Him being full-blooded Garlean, he considers himself superhuman, perhaps.
The worst part about that is as you're having all of these memories, Voln is taking your silence as like he can keep on going, and he starts to tell you about the war between Galia and Alamigo, and then you come back right as he finishes. So he thinks you heard
I'm like
all
60% paying attention. But the 40, I'm like 40% paying attention to you and like 60% paying attention to my own brain. I'm like,
Von's like, during the conversation, Von's like, Ken, at any point, like, feel free to correct me if I fuck this up.
Yeah, how is Ken reacting as he goes through the stories about Alamiga?
Well, Ken is just like a lot of people who have ties to other countries and places, like in the real world. He knows this history. It was taught to him because that's important. It's important to understand the context of where people are in that, especially if he's going to be a healer and he has to take that context into consideration. I think Voln would note it. I don't know. I feel like Voln and Ken are very close. Like they can kind of read each other a little bit. You see that Ken is trying to be nice because he understands that Viola doesn't deserve any hatred. She doesn't know who she is. But you can also tell he has a lot of thoughts, but he's choosing to focus on the positive because that's what's important right now.
There's a little bit of prejudice there, but for good reason.
So that's why they were dicks to me.
Yeah, but I think he says, I think that the fact that you were able to make headway with him is very admirable, Viola. Not many people can do that.
I figured that, my reasoning, that what I told Robin anyway, was I said, with all due respect, everybody who's been interrogating so far, they looked like yourself and Tiberius and all that. He said, yeah, and I'm like, well, you've sended the most intimidating people. I was gonna put him off.
Give me a try.
It worked.
I mean, clearly it worked. And, so that's why they're such dicks. Kids are dicks, but like those kids were especially dickish, I think.
Yeah.
The people of Garlemald they have an interesting way of thinking of the world, but I mostly feel sorry for them because a lot of them are taught that from a very young age. They're taught to embroil themselves with a culture that would look at a civil war of struggling people trying to be free and see it as an opportunity for invasion rather than help. And I think the fact that you're such a good person is proof that anyone has the proclivity to change, even if people don't want to.
I think a complete reset and some mild possible conditioning in the other direction might have been the cause of that. things considered.
That would probably help, yeah.
Well,
We
I
are
still
pretty
well I want to repeat what I told you before, which is that I trust you implicitly.
Well, I appreciate that. I think I trust you lot too. Unless any of you go doing some sneaky business that. And, like, she just, like, immediately goes red in the face and does not look at Zaxi for a solid 5 seconds. Does not speak for a solid 5 seconds, and then goes, so anyway, apparently, but that doesn't make... What's interesting to me is how if I'm not Fulgarian, they don't like not Fulgarians. How did I get so far?
Well, you are quite good with magic, so it could be on talent alone.
Also, what's a monk? Because apparently I did that too.
So are you asking in character or above table? Because I can answer the above table. But in character, I want
The
them
answer-
to do it.
The answer is yes, but I want my sole explanation to be from them until we get to the post show.
Go for it.
Oh, I want to make a Pugilist joke so bad. It's so bad.
Pugilist?
Yeah.
You Australian people say things so funny.
No, it is pugilist, but everybody just is so bad in the 14th space and they can't fucking pronounce it. Like,
Oh yeah,
fucking
I've heard
Australian.
pugilist
No
a
one
lot.
Dude, the fact that people don't realize that the word Eon can be spelled Aeon when it comes to, like, Destiny, and I'm like, dude, do you realize these things, they're literally naming enemies things from fucking Greek mythology. What, is it a leap in logic to assume that they could spell Eon this way?
Well, yeah.
Anyway,
the
what's a monk?
monks are fighting specialists who use their bodies as weapons. From what I remember, I feel as if Vaughn would know more than me, being a disciple of war himself.
Yeah, essentially the monk was a trained martial artist that had connection to ki, I think is the term, or there was something else that they called it. We usually just called it ki if we weren't in those spaces, but essentially they use their bodies and their own internal power to devastate the battlefield.
Well, I think I could see why I don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Zaxi
yeah,
slams the table. Whisker step.
I like the idea that Zaxi hasn't been listening to anything that's been
Yeah,
said.
she's been... You know, I was only like 40% paying attention to Vaughn. Zaxi was like 0.5% paying attention to this entire conversation.
Zaxi is a ginger cat. She only gets that brain cell once.
By the way, I told the staff here that you all would order your meals. It'll be on me. So Viola, Vaughn, Whisker, Steph, order whatever you want.
Viola, you do remember that Adelina was finding you and her a place for dinner. So
I'll be
just
right
keep that in
back.
mind. I would say
I'm gonna
at
go
this
find
point,
her.
you
Shout
don't
out
have to. Go ahead.
Shout out to the gays.
That's this channel, dude. That's just how we roll here.
Well, yes.
You don't
The
have
girls,
to.
the gays, and the allies.
You can step out. I would say at this point, you guys probably have a link shell that you could talk across distances with. I'd say that's not a leap in logic.
Yeah.
So you can send her a message. Basically, step out and make a phone call.
Yeah.
And it's not sending, so you don't have to count 25 words or anything.
Fuck yeah. Apparently, I'm gonna, like, hey, don't worry about dinner. I figured it out. Kin and the lot have apparently, we're all at this insert name of location here.
Okay.
Canopy.
Hang on. Insert name of location here.
Oh, that's fine. I kind of got distracted anyway. I was watching the Lancers do some drills, and it's just kind of mesmerizing. No, that's fine. I can get something, but maybe we can meet up later for like dessert or something.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll try to find us a good place then.
Oh, I was gonna say I was actually inviting you to come back over here and say hi.
Oh, sure, I can do that.
Oh, was that not clear? I'm so sorry.
Oh no, that's fine. I'll give you some time, and then I'll swing by.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the others would like to say hello anyway. I don't think
It'd be good to see them.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be by in a little bit then.
Yeah, and then we'll have something nice. No drinks and dessert later.
That sounds great. All right, have fun.
Okay.
God, I love them so much.
What have I?
We love to
About-
drill.
About oh god damn it!
After a while, Viola does come back to the table. Little smile on her face. She seems to be in a very good mood. At this point, I think we lost her though. Damn.
Fucking hell, killer.
At this point, you guys take some time.
Yeah, at least my
order your
at least
food.
it wasn't my boyfriend killing me live on Twitch with the yuckening.
Your food,
Go
your
watch
drinks
my-
come out. It's a lovely meal. You have some time where you catch up, swap some stories, and after a while, you kind of fall back into why this party was working so well. There's that moment where you just, any kind of initial awkwardness fades away, and you start remembering, you start telling stories about some of the battles that you've had together and just reminiscing. And you remember, especially you, Vaughn, I think specifically, as there's a moment where they're just kind of talking and laughing, and you're just looking at them and remembering what it's like to have a functional party full of competent people.
Yeah.
This is the first
Weird
time in a
concept.
while where you've been surrounded by people that, I don't know, would you say that you trust them?
He trusts Ken and Zaxi to a fault. Viola, he trusts more so. He trusts implicitly, but there's always that little bit of doubt knowing that if memories come back, things can change. So I feel like he trusts you completely, would help with anything, but always has that one small doubt. So if anything happened, he wouldn't be caught off guard. He'd be able to act quickly to be able to try and change or bring you back or whatever. So it's kind of one of those things. But he trusts Ken completely, like a brother,
besties.
basically.
Yeah, they're besties.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it doesn't help that Ken is honorable to a fault too.
Yeah, that also works. I think that also comes into Voln's newfound ideals with the Paladin Order as well. Having learned a lot with the Conjurers and the other sides of things, probably understands Ken a lot more.
Oh, that's
he
cute.
He just adores Zaxi. I feel not to adore Zaxi.
I think it's important to remember from the first season also that Zaxi and Voln knew each other way even before the Aurochs.
Oh, you did.
We
That's
have
right.
been friends. We proved our loyalty to each other well before
That
we
is right.
found
Divas.
I love Zaxi specifically because she's this just adorable little aloof cat until the battle starts, and then she's just this bloodthirsty tiger that's just insatiable. One of the favorite things I've ever made is that hero forge of Zaxi covered in blood. Like it was my favorite thing to work on.
She's very protective of her friends, so.
But
Well,
yeah,
yes.
Von is definitely very happy to be back with people that he trusts. And he knows aren't going to fucking get surrounded by 6 giant frogs in the Aurum Vale, which is quite nice.
Yeah, we won't be
might
going
eat
into the Aurum
fucking
Vale.
fruit. They'll eat the fruit, sage. If you're a sage, you should know this place already. No, I'll be fine.
After
I
some
can
time,
outdo it.
After some time, Adelina does show up, and she just is very happy to see everybody. She kind of goes around, gives everybody a hug, and just basically kind of joins in the conversation towards the end. As you all just enjoy the rest of your evening together. I do think that if you didn't have any objection, Adelina would sit next to you, Viola, and hold your hand, just kind of under the table.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then the
I
night...
fight the Ace Attorney urge to yell objection.
The night slowly, the day slowly fades into night. Luckily, though, for those of you not from here, this is where you would get an inn room. So there is rooms you can retire to for the night. You know that the meeting is supposed to be very early in the morning. You have dignitaries from Limsa coming. You have dignitaries. Roban should be there as well. So it should be a very important meeting. So as the night starts to dawn on you, that sounded weird.
Mm-hmm.
You have a choice. You can retire, or you can stay up and continue to reminisce for a while.
I think Ken. Yeah, I think Ken specifically does call the night early only because, unlike the rest of them, he has stuff he has to do before the meeting that has to do with the meeting, most likely. Well, that's the main difference. The things he has to do probably has to do with the meeting. So he politely lets them know that he's going to bed, and they are free to run up his tab if they want, because it will be taken care of by the morning.
So I heard that wrong. I heard run a piss tab, and let me tell you, as an Australian, my innate cultural identity was unlocked like a fucking
you know what?
agent. You're gonna wake up and owe thousands of gil to this poor innkeeper.
Oh, no.
Vold is going to be the last one to go to sleep. That's just now a habit that he has acquired after all of the failures of parties. He's always the first one up and the last one to sleep now.
Okay. What about the other two?
Zaxi's gonna probably go back to the Lancers Guild, maybe drill a bit there.
Speaking of, on your way back to the Lancers Guild, you do hear that very familiar like chingle of the link pearl that you have. Someone's trying to get a hold of you.
Oh yeah, I'll answer.
On the other end, it's just Tiberius, and all he says is, "Hey, you up?"
Christ.
Okay, and what if I jumped off of a building? Then what?
I even saw it coming.
I can't believe I'm getting
You awful
booty called in Final Fantasy.
You started this.
You started it. Yeah.
I'm just rolling with it. Okay.
What is my life? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I got some friends I could introduce you to.
I hope. Give me a mind check. I don't. I think he's taking that different than you mean, or I'm not sure how you mean it.
Don't you dare get Ken involved in this loose behavior.
No, like the Lancers. I was heading towards the Lancers, so like me and Tiberius and some of the hot
It is now canonical that the Lancers Guild is the Swingers Club.
Yeah, absolutely.
He comes back and he's just like, "Oh, I'm not feeling very social, really. If you're busy, that's fine. I just seeing if you were, you know."
I think she's not usually monogamous, but I think because he's in town and she's like, he'll probably get me to the meeting on time.
Fair
He's
enough.
like, I could come over. We can maybe whatever this world's version of Netflix and chill is.
Make his pockets hurt, Queen.
Okay. And then, Viola, what about you? Are you staying up? Are you going somewhere with Adelina? Or are you just going to turn in for the night?
I'm gonna stay up, but not like super, super late. Like,
Okay.
we're gonna go find somewhere where there are suites and we can share a suite.
Okay.
That's sweet.
You do find this really lovely place. And then, what is the name of the amphitheater? Do you know? Can you Google that for me really quick?
Yeah.
It's
gonna
just
say
called
I
the
need
something-
more information than that because I can only think
The
of
only
the
thing I know
amphitheater
is that
that's
it's
in my
just called
city.
the something amphitheater.
Okay.
Yeah, Miketo's amphitheater.
You guys find this beautiful little place and you get just some sweet treats, and then as you're walking by, there's this lovely outdoor amphitheater. It's got a little raised stage and just 2 rows of just benched seats, and you see that there's some little just play going on. It's been going on for a while, so it's just kind of the tail end, but there's a really nice moment. The 2 of you just kind of stand and catch the end of this play, and it's not one that
Moogle
you need.
community theater.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's definitely. Yeah. I like that. It's an all Moogle cast. It's an all Moogle cast.
There's a thing in
that
Destiny
actually-
called Ghost Community
sounds
Theater. A ghost in Destiny 2 is like a little robot drone companion, and they have Ghost Community Theater. So Moogle Community Theater seems like a good extension
love
of
that.
that.
I love that.
Vaughn's getting PTSD of Good King Walk, Good King Walk.
Okay. Do you think that song sounds like Halloween Town or from?
Yeah,
So when you just
okay.
sang it, I heard this is Halloween.
Okay.
This is. I haven't even seen that movie, and I know this.
Okay, perfect. So no one's staying up partying.
No. Hang on.
No, I have not seen The Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm sorry, I'm uncultured.
Fix this.
Okay, get out.
I haven't even
Get
seen
out.
all of Avatar: The Last Airbender at least one time through. I'm sorry.
I haven't watched that either.
That's fine. Plenty of seasons, whatever. But like Nightmare Before Christmas. Anyway,
I'm 26 years old.
You can't kick me out. This is my channel. Killer's like, I don't care. We'll do it.
It's fine now.
We don't really need you anymore anyway. Okay.
You can't throw me in to throw me out.
So no one stayed up partying, so no one has to make any vitality checks to see if you're exhausted.
What kind of fool do you take
hilarious.
Vi for?
I mean, Vaughn was up for a while, but he made sure that everybody was at least like retired to their rooms before he went to sleep. He was just kind of walking around. He wasn't doing anything.
Okay, perfect. The next day comes bright and early, as you all make your way separately to the place where you were told to meet for the meeting. A secluded place, and I tried my best to find a good picture of this, but there just wasn't enough high res, so we're gonna do generic, just Peku. I mean, it's a great background, but it's the closest thing I could find.
Is it the water? Where they're on the rocks on the water?
Yes, that's exactly.
Yeah, fuck trying to find any image of that place. It is so hard.
I mean, I found some good ones, but they were like this tiny. I'm like, that's gonna look like shit on the stream on Alchemy.
Yeah.
You all arrive at separate times, just kind of piling in. Ken, I'd say you'd be the first one there. Like you said, just having to get things set up, helping the soothsayer. See, you're there when the dignitaries from Limsa Lamensa and Ul'dah arrive. and there's some conversations that happen, but it's really very surface level at the moment. That kind of just strict greetings, like, oh, thank you so much for making the trip, and then Robon's like, of course, this is important business, and just little surface level stuff. But eventually, the rest of your party starts to file in. Adelina is going to let you attend this on your own. She's not really part of the
this whole
grander
thing.
scheme. Yeah, so she's just like, okay, have a good day, and like sends you off. She doesn't really want to be that involved.
I'm
gonna let her hang out with Vinny.
Okay. Same for
Vinny the
Tiberius.
Chocobo.
Same for Tiberius. Oh yeah, at this point I'd say that those two have gotten very, very close.
Yeah.
Tiberius will also not be in attendance. So
but he did get me there on time. Like, I wasn't like the late, but
no, you're there on time. In fact, I kind of imagine him being like, "Hey, you gotta wake up! Come on!"
Yeah. She rolls over, swats at him, and then he like picks her up and like carries her, drops her in the bathtub.
I feel like Tiberius and Zaxby's relationship, he absolutely knows what she's like and tells her that the meeting area is there like an hour earlier than it's supposed to be,
yeah.
and she's still half an hour late to what she thinks it is.
Absolutely.
So she's half an hour early.
So, after a while, the meeting itself is rather small. So you've got Raubon there representing Ul'dah. You've got, and I can never pronounce her name. Is it Canisena? Canisena? How do you say it? How do you all say that?
Canisena?
Canisena?
Yeah, Canisena. I thought it was Canisana. Canisena.
Canisan. Whatever. And then from Limsa, it is their leader, Merlwib.
Yeah.
How was that? How was that? Was that close? As you all pile in, there's just some slight nods, and then you're kind of waiting around for the meeting to start, and then one other figure joins the group as the Warrior of Light enters as well. Raubon looks up. Oh, okay. I believe we're all here. We do have the warrior here representing the Scions in this conversation. And he just kind of nods. And the Warrior of Light kind of walks over, again, decked out in his wonderful, pimp-looking red mage attire. You think that the feather in his hat has gotten a little bit longer since last time that you saw him? Slightly different style. But he just kind of walks into the middle. And again, for those of you that aren't really familiar with the Lotus Stand, it's the middle area is this large, basically the smooth stone in the middle of the lake. And there are smaller stones that kind of lead to it from the shore. So the meeting area takes place just completely on this one central stone. As the Warrior of Light finally just joins you. Oh, it's good to see you all again. I've been hearing a lot of good things about you. Like what you did up in Raubon's Push. That's made quite the impression on, well, everybody.
Yes, it seems that the levels of heroism does not deny that of which we are owed. Ken and Zaxby have known Voln long enough, they can absolutely hear disdain in his voice, but he's still being nice.
Here's the thing: the second the Warrior of Light walks away, they all just go, "This guy."
Vi just looks confused because I think she can clock Voln being like as stiffly like diplomatic as possible, where it's like clearly a prescribed speech.
Yeah, I was gonna say Viola like knows Vol, but not long enough to know the difference. But even she clocks when he's like, "Oh, he hates."
You're in
this
corporate
guy.
mode. She's just confused.
Yeah,
I think she's more confused. Like, why are you in corporate mode?
Yeah,
damn, that's your
that,
customer service voice.
What do they do in Japanese? They go,
"Yes."
No, Ken.
What do they do in Japanese?
Like they pull that. like pull their
Oh,
eye
that,
down.
yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like in the anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken is very polite, and he just says, "Oh, thank you. It's good to know that you feel good about the work we're doing. Hopefully, we can help you in any work in the future."
Now, you guys, you've done really well. And the fact that Robon invited you to this, I think, says a lot. He kind of looks around. Also, above table, I love that I threw this guy in just because, it's kind of my character, and I just wanted him in, and you all hate him, and it makes me sad, but whatever, it's fine.
Ken doesn't. I'm about to say, Ken does not have any thoughts about this man.
Here's the thing. We know it's you, and that's why we're acting this way.
I've dealt with you in enough campaigns. I'm over it.
Fair. So, you know what? Just for that, I'm going to have the Warrior of Light do the mission debrief.
Shout out to our diva, the Warrior of Light.
The whole time behind his back.
I'm just here. Vi's just like, okay, this guy's like chill, I guess.
So as they're looking around,
Oh my god.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Zaxby's code name, the Warrior of Light.
Okay.
Yes.
Love.
Bye. Thanks for playing.
Fuck you guys. I thought that was great.
No, that was good. We do punspiration here, right? Yeah, you get advantage.
No,
And
fuck
don't forget, because you probably did, advantage stacks in this game. So if you have 3 advantage, you roll 3 dice and choose the highest. So
that's fun.
At this point, Robon looks around. Okay, we're all here. I think it's time to begin. I want to extend a warm welcome to our guests, the Aurochs and the Warrior of Light. Thank you for coming. And to our gracious host for allowing us to meet here in Gridania. And the soothsayer just kind of gives him a little nod. Now, I know we've had some setbacks in the recent months, this meeting being a little delayed longer than we expected, but we have been making wonderful progress in what we've been calling Operation Archon. Now, I know he looks to you as a collective. I know you all have been busy with your own affairs lately, but I'm very glad to have you here with us today. If there's anything we can do to help assist you, please let us know. Things are going well, though. And I think there's no small part of that thanks to the efforts that you all have been making, especially you, Ken. The soothsayers told me about your efforts here in Gridania, what you've been doing for the effort. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you. Your words bless me, Robon.
So, an update on the war plans. We have gotten some very vital information, thanks to our friend Bartholomew. Or
Oh, that's
Bart.
his full name.
That was what he told us, at least. We're still not 100% sure if that's something that we can trust. But, so far, whatever you said to him seems to have worked, because the intel he's been giving us it's been invaluable. We've learned a little bit more about this Project Ultima that he mentioned. As we suspected, it is the Garleans' attempt to make yet another superweapon. It seems that they didn't take too kindly to us destroying the last one, or I should say, to you destroying the last one. We have it under very good intel that this weapon is being constructed in a facility known as the Praetorium within Castle Meridianum. Meridianum? How do you say that word?
I said that 10 times fast.
Meridianum? Is it?
I don't know. It's a hard word. This would have taken us months to uncover, if not for the intel that was provided to us by Bart. So, Viola, for your efforts, thank you. We have... sorry, continue.
No, I just simply stated what was be pragmatic for him.
Whatever you said, it worked.
Well, that's good.
Now, we do have some less than positive news, and he looks over to the Warrior of Light. Yes, thank you. As you know, I have been helping out with the contingent here in Gridania. The Order of the Twin Adders has needed some assistance, so I've been fighting alongside them. Are you familiar with... He turns to you all. Are you familiar with the activities that the Twin Adders have been up to?
I look at friggin' Kin.
Ken, you would know. You would
Yeah,
know...
I was about to say.
Ken, you would know that they've basically been... the Twin Adders have been charged with taking over Castrum Orions. And that's what... You've had some intel that there is, again, War Machina being developed there. Not the ultimate weapon, of course, but, you know, Garleans be Garleaning, and they're making more and more... Also, you know that the taking of Castrum Orions is highly important to the mission. And were it to fail, it would overall impact the push towards the Praetorium as well.
Yeah, I think he explains that a bit, but he does leave some details out so that the Warrior of Light can basically fill in the gaps, because we do need to get his intel.
Thank you for sharing. Oh, unless you want to... Do you want to say anything else?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Thank you. Of course, exactly. We've received word, however, from the Order of the Twin Adder contingent that's been assaulting the Castrum, and it's not good. Apparently, the enemy has deployed some kind of new war machina. I know it seems to be the same old with these Garleans all the time, but there's been heavy casualties on our forces. So much so that we're risking losing ground, and if this continues, we might be even looking at a total defeat at Castrum Orions. Which is why the Scions and myself have come to ask this council if they could provide some support. And I spoke with Raban a little bit yesterday. At this point, Raban steps in. And I said that this party might be the best thing we could provide to the Adders, if you were willing to take up the charge. Before you answer, know that this will be very dangerous, but it is vital to the success of this mission. And I can think of no group of adventurers better suited for this task.
One question.
Before he had even said before you answer, Zaxi was like getting to like jump up, and then he's like, before you answer, she like sat back down and was like
the only question I want to ask them, what contingency do you have in place in case we were to fail?
The Warrior of Light looks at Raban, and Raban looks from him to the other members of the council that are here. And the Warrior of Light takes up the charge and looks back to you. There isn't one.
So I guess we can't fail.
Well,
we have to secure
no.
Castrum Orions. There's just no way around it. We can't win this without it.
Okay, and what forces? Will it just be us? What's the game plan, I guess?
There are still a contingent of Twin Adders there, but they have suffered a lot of casualties. myself, the Scions, our attention has to be focused elsewhere. You will have some backup from Gridania, but for the most part, you'll be on your own.
Vaughn's like, a tank, a healer, 2 DP. Ah, fuck. No. As long as we're recognizing that it's not a suicide mission.
Raban, at this point, for this party, I would not assume it to be. Now, I'm not going to lie. This is a dangerous mission. But a suicide mission, that is not the intention of this request. You have proven yourselves far too valuable to throw you away. And I'm sorry if that sounded callous.
Not the fact that it sounded callous, it's more so just understanding the awareness of the situation with the heads of each delegation, the Warrior of Light representing the Scions, and then us, the Aurochs, are here as kind of a third party. You can understand the worries that come from that, the understandable consequences of what could happen. So I'm just wanting to make sure that it's not a situation that has been thought of. This is something that we intend to succeed in.
I have to agree with Vaughn. While I don't mind helping, I do think that the parameters of this mission should be set out in full before any of us say yes.
What do you want to know?
Informed consent. Hell yeah, get the fucking IRB involved.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I think while I do think that Ken wants to say yes immediately, I do also think he understands it's not only his life on the line. So I think he asks, like, okay, what is the plan? What do you want us to do in specific? How are we going to get there? What is your guys' war strategy to get us there, etc. Basically, he wants to know from start to finish from each of these people, what is their plan to get us in there, and what do you expect us to do afterwards?
These are all very good questions. So, we do have a contingent of, like I said, the Twin Adders that could meet you. You could take the Aetherite portal out to the East Shroud. We will have someone there, one of the officials, meet you and debrief you on the situation. Like I said, there are some Lancers, some Archers that can also assist with this. But for understanding the full scope of that, they will debrief you when you get to the East Shroud. Now, the intel we have says that there is some kind of new war machina, like I said. Some rumors have circulated that it looks like... He kind of looks around like it's stupid. Like a giant scorpion. Now, these are just unfounded
I made a
rumors.
giant hand. That seems like a step up.
The Warrior of Light at this point says, she does have a point about that. They're not really big on, aesthetic. They kind of just make whatever they think looks cool. Raban rolls his eyes a little bit. Go ahead.
I mean, anything that large and dangerous is rather awesome in the most literal sense of it.
That's true. But as of now, they're just unfounded rumors. So whether or not it is a giant scorpion or just another big metal hand, we can't say for certain. Now we have
It's a big metal foot!
Again, the Warrior of Light's just like, he just kind of holds his hand up to you, and he's like, it could be.
Vol now is catching Raban's eyes, and they're both rolling their eyes.
Now we have...
And then Vi realizes that she's thinking out loud again and, immediately just, hides.
When we meet them to get a debrief of everything, will there be people in need of my assistance in terms of healing, or are you not aware?
Specifically, let me just put it this way. There's almost zero chance that they don't need your help. the casualties they've suffered, and our intel is a day or so behind at this point, there could have very well been more attacks. And those that survived the previous attack will need assistance. Now, there are some conjurers that have been there, but nothing is going to be able to hold up to a white mage.
And then at that point, it just becomes a question of how much time is needed, and they would know better than you, I assume.
They are the ones on the front lines. So I can pass on the intel we have, but they would be able to give you intimate knowledge of what's happening, the number of casualties, and any more direct reports.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
No. These questions are very important, and we're asking something of you that should not be taken lightly. You were invited here to this meeting because, quite frankly, of all of the adventuring parties we've seen come and go, you are by far...
stiffens.
I think, Ken, you pick up on that. I think you pick up on the shift in Vaughn's demeanor when Raban says that. But he continues. You are not only the most capable, but already have proven yourself so much and, well, to be quite frank, have been chasing this since the beginning. Whether or not you even knew you were involved in what was happening here. Ever since that shipment of crystals, you've been involved in this.
I think Ken just puts a calming hand on Vaughn's back. I assume that it's the thing where they're sitting, so they're kind of on even footing. So while Raban talks, he just puts a hand on his shoulder.
Just lets out a deep sigh.
The Aurochs have made a name for themselves in Eorzea. The leaders of the city-states and the Scions have taken notice. This is not a task we put out to just any adventurers. This is a task that we put out to people we trust. And we would not ask you to do this if we did not think you could succeed. But again, I do want to stress, this is war. And the war is getting intense. And we can't guarantee your safety from this point on. He finishes, and that just kind of hangs there in the air. What are y'all thinking?
I think for Mood. I think for Ken, it's an immediate yes in his head, but I do think he thinks about his compatriots as well. In the conversation he had with Vaughn a few months ago about, because of the position he is in, the willingness he has to have to risk his life if need be. And I think he sees in this moment that I think for once Ken is stuck between a rock and a hard place about that, because if his friends say yes, he needs to make sure they at least make it out, and he can't do that if he sacrifices himself for them, or at least he doesn't know what'll happen. So I think he is stuck between a rock and a hard place, but I do think it's a yes for him, and I think they would all know it would be a yes for him.
Yeah.
Viola is a very interesting case because I think she would just go along with whatever Kin and Vaughn say, and if they disagree, whichever one is more convincing in the moment. And I think it's And I think it's in that moment that it kind of hits her that how little she knows about everything and how willing she is to just fully go along with these people who she's known for less than for a very short period of time. The entire time almost the entire time that she has existed as she knows it.
Oh, that line goes hard.
I think it's also reinforced by all of these places that they're saying. You don't know them, and there's part of you that thinks you should. With everything you've learned about being a well-respected member of the Imperial forces, but none of these castrums, none of these fortresses mean anything to you. And I think that kind of drives that home, too. Just how little you remember. I think we all know what Zaxi feels, but Zaxi, would you like to elaborate?
You want to fuck shit up, Zaxi?
I mean, Zaxi's bored. Zaxi wants to stick her stick in something, so she Zaxi's all in. I think Zaxi, what she does is she will look at both Ken and Voln and even, probably Viola, and just like give like a little like nod, like, I'm in if you're in, like, I'm gonna beat stuff up, so.
Love that. I think at this point, then, all eyes turn towards Voln. Voln, you look up and just notice everyone staring at you. And your eyes catch the Warrior of Lights. And his face is impassable, unreadable. But he's just, he locks eyes with you and just, he holds your stare for a minute, just waiting on your answer.
In that stare with the Warrior of Light, the way that Voln is kind of like looking at him, like the Warrior of Light is smart enough to be able to pick up on the most subtle things. It's literally part of his whole shtick in the game.
Yeah. He knows.
I feel like at that point,
he knows how you feel.
I feel like at that point, in that like one moment of staring, 14, he has a moment where he gets memories of other people, and he like
you just see him go
kind of. Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" But I feel like that in that one stare, he's kind of just like looking at him, and there's definitely an air of defiance around it. There's definitely an air of kind of the implicitness that comes with it all. I feel like it's quiet for a good 30 seconds, and while everybody else is like getting awkward, like the party knows that he is thinking, like he is locked the fuck in. I can't say no as much as I would want to, because there are a lot of issues I'm taking with the planning behind it all of springing it on us. And that's less of a dissatisfaction with your leadership and more of a, we're only just hearing about the end goal and being asked to do it. So I can understand that part. But I also can't say no with what we know, the help that we have already given, and instances that can come forward. My big issue that I take with it in this time isn't saying yes. And he kind of like looks kind of at him. He looks down a little bit, but he's looking towards his shield. And I know that Ken and Viola at least understand he's not looking at his shield, he's looking at the names that he's kind of like etched of all the people that have like died. There needs to be... I have one condition to it for now. And that is less of a can we do it and more of a if we can't, I'm out. I need it to be known that until the war, or at least the fighting, has finished to an extent that we feel comfortable in our country again, that we need to put a hold on, at the very least, the lesser adventurer parties going out, especially if it's going to become so dangerous. He's gonna look at the warrior of light. He has never been this bold before in his tiny little life. Vaughn is also I think I made him older. I'm gonna say mid-30s, why not? Compared to normal adventuring parties, don't at me.
Compared to Vi's baby compared to him.
Yeah. But I feel like there's this boldness in his voice as he kind of looks towards the warrior of light and then the others. If this war is going to escalate further, which means there's going to be more fighting and places are going to become more dangerous, then we're going to need people to be training and specializing in what they do for as long as they can before they put themselves in the line of fire. And I'm going to refuse to do anything else if you can't at least try to promise me that there will be word sent out to the guilds to not put these people with no training in the line of fire. If you can promise me that, I'm in.
Your gaze shoots back up again with this defiant fire, and you lock eyes again with the warrior of light, and you see he as you started talking, one eyebrow went up, and then as you finish, he just has this kind of half smirk on his face. And then he looks over at Raubon. I agree. The war is getting way too dangerous for us to be sending out people that just crawled out of the East Shroud, picked up a lance for the first time, and think they can do this. And you see that Raubon starts to
Ken
protest.
And Viola can feel Vold that anxiety before they start bursting into tears of anger.
You see
Vi
Raubon
is not paying attention to that.
Vi's oh, pretty colors. What's
no, Vi is no. Vi's having an existential crisis. Don't worry about it.
Zaxby's going, ooh, pretty colors.
Zaxby's going, ooh, pretty colors. Vi's going, wait, shit, is he talking about me?
I could see why Vi might think that. You see Raubon open his mouth as though to protest, and the warrior just kind of holds his hand up. I'm not saying we need to start turning adventurers away, and I don't think that's what you're saying either, Vol. But we need to make sure that they are trained before we let them out. And this isn't going to be popular. And he looks back to you, Vol. But I think for now, if we have a chance of winning this, we need to keep as many of our people alive as possible and prepare them for what's really coming. I make a motion.
The less people that are sent out on missions running off of only the ideals of those that are already worthy is going to be better in the long run for the war.
I make a
Damn,
motion
come up with that shit on the spot.
that we reach out to all of the guilds, restrict the requests they give to their new initiates, to make sure that they're fully trained and prepared before they allow them to graduate to the next steps. This will mean, of course, kind of redoing some of our training plans. But I think I know someone who would be more than willing to take a look at all of the training regiments and make some notes.
Oh, God.
Raubon just kind of looks around. He looks over and makes eye contact with the other leaders, and there's this silent moment. Eventually, the soothsayer says, I second.
My queen, my diva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Merlweb at this point, or whatever her fucking name is.
Okay.
Is it Merlweb? I don't know. I can't pronounce it. It's spelled like a jumble of letters.
I apologize to all our German and Swiss friends out there.
Also,
hey, it's not as bad. My accent, my mouth can't say it properly, so it just sounds like Moab.
also, I just want to say, and you can hate me for this, Limsa's like my least favorite city-state, and I spend as little time there as possible. So I've heard her name spoken like
100%.
in one quest. 10
I
years
have
ago.
been on the US servers now for a couple of months, and I have never felt more uncomfortable than I am when I have to go to Limsa for shit.
Avoid that.
I thought we were degenerates. Holy fuck.
I'm not sure what's more of a maze, Limsa or Ulda, but I can't navigate in video games for shit. Even video games that I have quite extensive experience in, so I shouldn't
Limsa
be
for me.
talking.
Limsa for me, I can't find shit there. One by one, they all nod until Roban just agreed. We will restrict access to adventurers and limit their ability to interfere with the front lines, while making sure they are getting properly trained so that they can, in fact, help when they are suitably ready.
Olm starts silently crying. The anger and frustration and tense in his body is just getting let out.
Roban does address you. Does that help address your concerns?
It's like a moment where he looks at his shield, and in his mind, this is like his first step to kind of avenging a lot of the earlier trainees and that have kind of come by. And he doesn't have it in him to vocally say words, so he just nods his head as like these tears are streaming. He has so much anger in his tiny little body.
Very well. At this, they all kind of look around, waiting for someone to speak, and Raoban will take up the mantle. Well, with that, I want to sincerely thank the Aurochs for their assistance, for what you've done and what you've yet to do. We, of course, will provide whatever help we can. In the meantime, the Scions and our main contingency of forces will continue our push towards Castrum Meridianum. I wish you well. With that, he kind of nods, makes eye contact one more time with the Warrior of Light, and just turns to leave. It seems the meeting is adjourned.
Zaxi hops up and goes, "Woohoo! Trip!"
Yeah, that's when Kensei's like, oh goodness, I have to start training for fighting again. It's been a while. I've mostly just been helping people.
Vol just rests his head on the shield that is absolutely the same size as him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I imagine it's a little taller.
That's why it's a power move.
It's from his training as a warrior. He's used to holding bigger weaponry. So he has like a full-sized shield and sword.
So is Zaxi.
Really?
I wasn't going to say it because I didn't want to knock things off the rails that fast.
Lord.
I feel like Ken would know this. How long would Ken assume until they're sent out?
Full details will come very shortly, but you'd assume that would be as likely within the day. The East Shroud's not that far.
Okay.
So, I mean, it won't take that long to get there. But the sooner the better. At this point, really, you guys have been given the request, right? And you're being given enough leeway and trust that you'll get it done. There's no official deployment for you. right? It's just, you know where to go, you know what needs to be done. You're on your own for making up how fast you want to get there.
Yeah. I think he says, could all of you meet me at the Conjurers Guild in about an hour or two? I need to do some preparation.
Sure.
Hey.
Yep. Yeah, I think before he goes, he gives each of them a hug, especially Vaughn, and he just heads out very quickly. Like he's running very quickly for someone who has duties in government, basically, which is a brisk walk.
Fair. As you all start to leave, the Warrior of Light. Go ahead.
Spacing the fuck out.
Okay, you're getting out of there.
She is not. No. She is not present in this moment. She is just fully in the thinking about what Vaughn was saying, and like I know he would never say those things about me, but would he? Not to my face.
Yeah, not to your face, behind your back, Vol's a card. No, I'm kidding.
The problem too is I don't know, and I'll ask the group. I don't know if anybody's paying enough attention right now to pick up on this little existential crisis.
Absolutely.
Vol is having his own.
Yeah. What about you, Zaxi? What are you doing?
But yeah,
Zaxi's
Vi
just like,
won't look Vaughn in the eyes, but that's also very easy to avoid doing. So she's not even that tall. She's actually very short. He's probably still waist height to her.
Yeah. So Zaxi, what are you doing?
Zaxi is pumped. Zaxi's gonna probably go back over to the Lancers Guild and get some fresh equipment, make sure, everything's in tip-top shape. Maybe it doesn't sound like we were told it was a secret mission or anything, so probably talking to Tiberius a little bit, hey, I'm got a mission. Very excited.
Yeah.
She's probably really downplaying the danger because I don't think she necessarily it's not that she doesn't care that there's danger, obviously, and she's going to do her best to keep her friends safe, obviously, because she's good like that. But I think she has so much confidence and just loves what she does so much that she's just she does not fear it. You know what I mean? She's what's going to happen is going to happen. She's we are good at what we do, so I'm not really that worried about it. So she's yeah, we're gonna go, and we're just gonna go, defeat the Empire. No big deal.
Isn't Zaxi the only one of us that has never gone down yet?
Yes.
Yes. The only one.
In fact, everybody else at one point was down, and Zaxi killed a bunch of guys.
With the chocobo, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You had to use the chocobo?
Yeah.
You used the chocobo, and then I think that was also the same fight where I got held at knife point, so...
Yeah.
It might have... Yeah, I think it was. That was a good episode. I just remember I was like, oh shit, am I wiping this group? This is ridiculous. And then Zaxi somehow took out 3... I don't know if you limit breaked or what, but you took out 3 dudes.
I think she did.
By the way, shout out to Psychic for taking a tank support class, because we definitely needed that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I told Wolf, I was I want to be a paladin because I know we have Clemency, and Clemency is the healing spell for paladins. We also have a res eventually, but I looked at the level 50. I'm where is Clemency? We have this by now. I look at it's level 60.
Is it level 60? Is it on the RPG too?
On the level 60 sheet.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure we got Clemency way earlier.
Well, maybe, but they had to balance for a TTRPG.
I am very wrong. Apparently, Clemency is unlocked at level 58.
Oh. So see, they just took it straight from the game.
Yeah, so ignore everything I have said. I am still pissed because I have to be.
Sure.
But yeah. I know that the tank limit break is amazing. The Paladin.
Oh,
on
I haven't
boat
read
is
the
really
Paladin
good.
one yet. I'll have to check that out. I haven't read that one.
It's great. So that's good.
So the two of them, at this
but yeah.
point, everyone's kind of scattered. And the only 3 people left here in the Lotus Stand are Vaughn, Viola, who are both having their little meltdowns individually, and the Warrior of Light, who has
Oh my
just kind
God,
of
yes,
hung
Meltdown
back.
Queens.
Who's just kind of hung back, watching people go. He kind of catches your eye again, Vaughn. That was impressive. I don't know many people that would be so bold talking to, well, the most powerful people in Eorzea. And you can tell he's referring to the other 3. He wasn't referring to himself in that. He was referring to the city-state leaders.
Yeah. Viola.
Hmm?
I will catch up to you and the others. Could I have a moment? So I'm going to talk to the Warrior of the Light about some things, if that's all right.
Yeah, right. Sorry.
He just kind of like gently puts his hand on like the tip of your knee and just like gives you a light pat to try and like calm you down as well.
Yeah. Sorrow's prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I didn't mean to intrude or overstay my welcome.
It's fine. I think we both have some things to talk about as well.
Later. And she gives like an awkward, like little like duck wave to the Warrior of Light, and then ducks out and like nopes the fuck out of that in that room.
He just like tips his hat to you, and you see the feather kind of bounce around a little bit.
Oh, it's such a pretentious cunt. Anyway.
I don't know if Vi's wearing her hat, but if she does, she like pulls it slightly down more over her face, like, do not perceive me. Do not perceive me. I don't think she's wearing her hat. I think she goes to do not perceive me, realizes it's not there, and then just leaves.
Grabs her hair or something.
Yeah. She like puts her hands on the side of her horns and is just like, yeah.
I swear this is how we say goodbye.
It's a thing. It's an Auroch thing. I promise I would know as someone who's been aware of her existence for the entire time she's been alive.
As she's doing this awkward run out, the warrior just kind of chuckles to himself a little bit. And then once she's finally gone, smile just fades, and he looks back at you.
Like, all right, fuck you.
No, not menacingly. Just he kind of gets more
serious.
serious.
I felt that. That sounded so menacing.
It's less of a talk and more of an understanding of the natural awareness of consequences that we have in the field that we're in.
Go on.
What I said about making sure that the guilds understand the severity of the situation as well as just us. Considering it's a war, we know that casualties happen all the time. It happened with the war between Garleon and Alamigo. It happened now with everything that's happening here. And I know you've been around long enough to also understand, well, what happens after a war. It's not just us as leaders. The defiance of me demanding that contingency for the people of this land. I want you to tell me that you know exactly what I was talking about. I just want to hear it from you, that you are at least aware of the heroics and the price and consequences that come from it. That's all I need.
It keeps me up at night sometimes. I'm aware. I know the toll that it takes.
And you know the danger that it puts them in.
I do.
The danger it puts us all in.
I do. There's some things we have to do. Some risks that we have to take, even knowing the dangers going in. And I think you know that too.
Some people don't deserve that, though. And I
don't
think
disagree.
that's what makes it so difficult being in the position that we're in. Is that we understand the severity, we understand the consequences because we have directly put ourselves in the line of fire. But there are a lot of people who don't know that. That I just needed to hear from you that at the very least you understand what happens to those that are beneath us in the sense of military tactics and power. Not that we are above or beneath anyone else, but just in the sense of war, there is a class system. And we need to make sure that while there are less of us at the top, that there are more of us at the bottom.
It takes a moment. I like that you care. I like that you care this much. I think it makes you a good leader for this team, and I think it will make you a great leader once this is over. There are too many people that don't think about the casualties of what happens below a certain, what did you call it, class level. So many people get caught up in the grand heroics of the Scions or the Aurochs. A lot of the horrors of this war go unspoken. And I'm also glad to hear that you're aware of those too.
He kind of starts to breathe a little heavier as he stands up and kind of grabs his shield and his sword and kind of sheathes and puts his sword on his back. And just basically turns into a fucking turtle when he falls over. But he just kind of looks up to the Warrior of Light, which is not hard. He looks up to everybody. And he kind of just walks up to him. Just kind of holds his hand out. And just waits.
You don't have to wait long as the warrior reaches out and takes your hand as well. Or that, arm grab thing they do.
Just promise me that until you're thrown into the battle yourself, because I know an unspoken truth is that if we fall, you're next. I am at least aware of the Scions and what they do. Not directly, but everybody's heard stories. So if we fall, just remember that you're next. And my god, if we fall, you better fucking succeed.
He smiles just a little bit. I have every faith that it won't come to that.
Okay. I just wanted to hear it from you. As he kind of lets go and starts to walk off.
Just watches as you go, and he's left standing there alone for just a minute as he just kind of smiles to himself, nods a little bit, turns to leave himself. The plans have been set. The war marches on. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Ooh.
We've had 2 RP episodes, so I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, you're going to fight something next time.
Yeah.
But these have been very
Okay.
These have been very good
make a
RP
joke.
episods, I think.
I was gonna make a joke when you were like, we need to find out like how long it will take to get there. And I was gonna make a joke and be like, so about a week? Because I was getting to like 2:30. Like, so it'll be about a week for us to get there.
It'll be about
Ooh.
that long.
Yay.
Thank you all so much. This was a great ace. It was so great to have you back. I missed you last time. We've missed you on the stream, but it's great to have your energy back. We've got our full
Yay.
party. We will be things have heated up here as we're getting towards the end of what is essentially the starter set introduction, building up towards the assault on the Praetorium. If you haven't picked that up, that's kind of what we're building towards. So I'm excited.
Fuck me.
What? It's nice to have some clearer characters for my poor lost souls to inadvertently latch themselves onto.
I will say, before you panic, Psychic, the Praetorium is not part of this module.
Thank God. I was not looking forward to half a fucking hour. No, when you're first running through it, over an hour of cutscenes.
Oh, and
for
if we
2 fucking quests.
if they ever do release the Praetorium and we play through it, I'm gonna memorize the script and I'm gonna make you sit there as I read through the whole damn thing.
Only
I will
if you,
kick
I
you
will,
from your
I will
own fucking
consent to this,
channel.
but only if you do voices for the characters and
I
like make them
absolutely
actually
will.
distinct. Fuck yeah.
Anyway, thank you all so much for playing. It feels good to be back. I love my Kupo crew. I'm glad that we're all here. Miss Fishy, but we'll get him back in here for another Kupo Quest thing sometime in the future. And also, thank you.
Yeah. We gotta have the
Vengeance.
wedding episode.
Oh, that one's definitely coming. I've got some stuff in the work. Hoping to do that this summer. Thank you, Vengeance, for hanging out with us all night, too. I'm glad to see that you're still around. And then she also said that you guys are way too good at this. I think she's directing that at you, Psychic, for your amazing RP there. So
I nearly cried. I
I know, that was
acting.
Oh, I can
good.
hear that.
Cried.
That was good. Look at you, little actor. So yeah, that will be it for this episode. Make sure you tune back in next week. And then also this week, I think we have Golden Vault and Temptations. Yes, we've got those going on this week too, right? So come back. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank you all for watching so much. We'll see you next week. Lally ho, friends.
Bye.
Until next time, YouTube.